4 national championships, 2-time National Coach of the Year, 57 All-Americans, 5 Olympians, a 21-year body of work on the verge of another milestone. Iowa, Nebraska. Volleyball is coming up on NET. NCAA Volleyball is live from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a Big Ten Conference showdown as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on the 5th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. And hello again, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker Kathy Wieskamp. Great to have you with us here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center tonight for the second night, Kathy, or second time in 3 nights, Iowa and Nebraska square off.
Yes, a home and home, which is kind of been unusual. This year we've been seeing those weekend matchups. Here's kind of like we used to see in the Big Ten. And so opportunity for teams to go back, make some adjustments, and have an opportunity to go at it again.
Nebraska had the sweep on Wednesday night, moving to 32-0 all-time against Iowa. And this is a look at the Big Ten standings. Wisconsin still at the top, the only unbeaten team in the conference. Ohio State with just that 1 loss to Nebraska. Minnesota also a 1 loss to Nebraska. The Huskers have lost 2, 1 to Ohio State and 1 to Minnesota. Let's take a look at Iowa Hawkeyes. They come in and their standout already with a triple-double this year is Courtney Bizarro.
Courtney Bizarro, she does so many things for this Hawkeye team. She is a 6'5" setter hitter in a 6'2" system. She leads this team. Wednesday night, she had 9 kills, hit 311 assists. You see 8 digs. She's had, I think, 5 times this season where she's been 1 or 2 away from having an additional triple-double. But she has been an incredible force for Hawkeyes.
Huskers led this year by Lexi Sun, who averages almost 4 kills per set.
Lexi Sun is really playing hot right now, and she's kind of had that hot hand. And Nebraska and Nicklin Hames has said, you know what, let's take advantage of that. And she's had 14 kills the other night. She had 12 digs in their matchup on Wednesday, her 5th double-double this season.
Hawkeyes looking for the upset. Nebraska looking for its 2nd sweep in a week against the Iowa Hawkeyes. It's Nebraska and Iowa coming up next from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. John Cook's first year on the bench at Nebraska was 2000. They won a national title. You see with an Olympian, now also with Lindsay Wishmeyer-Peterson as part of the program. In 2006, they did it for the 2nd time. A whole new cast and crew with another Olympian, Jordan Larson in the front row, and a future head coach, and Danny Busboom behind the trophy. Fast forward to 2015, John Cook's 3rd national championship. Coming with what we believe future Olympians on this team. And then, of course, in 2017, his 4th national title. And tonight, another milestone in store for Nebraska's head coach, as he is at 599 wins in his career at Nebraska, looking for win number 600. And that 87% winning percentage is the best in the country over the last 21 years. One of the top names in coaching, John Cook, an AVCA Hall of Famer, looking for number 600 tonight here against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here's a look at the starting lineups. Nebraska switching it up a bit tonight. In the starting lineup, Callie Schwarzenbach is there, along with the usual standouts, Kinsey Knuckles at the libero. And Kaylee Akana will start it off for Nebraska. And she will serve for the Huskers. So Schwarzenbach with the start tonight, and serve is long. Point for the Hawkeyes to start it out. And now back for the Hawkeyes is Jocelyn Boyer, the libero out of Downers Grove, Illinois, the sophomore. Good pass by Kaylee. Lexi Sun back row. Rosario did not get it down. Sun again with another back row attack, and the block is there up front. That's Adina Schmidt with the kill out of Berlin. Here's a look at the starting lineup for the Hawkeyes. Amaya Jones in the middle. Clayton the other middle. And that's where Iowa will have to have some success tonight against Nebraska. Net violation on Nebraska. Iowa on top here early on, 3-0 over the Huskers.
One of the things Iowa's been real strong with this year is their serving. They've been really challenging the serve-receive of opponents, and starting off here with a nice strong serve too, going right at Akana, the freshman.
Block off of Stiveren's first swing, and Iowa out to the quick start here. 4-0 here in Lincoln. These two teams squared off, as we said, just 3 days ago in Iowa City. There's a look at the head coach of the Hawkeyes, Vicki Brown, in her second year. Graduated from Illinois back in 2008, played for 4 years, was an all Big Ten middle blocker for the Fighting Illini. Stiveren's on the slide again. Great up to keep that alive, but Stiveren's gets the first kill for Nebraska.
Just great effort there. That's a tough ball, and again, great up by Slagle just to get her hand on that ball and give her team a chance.
Maddie Kubik will now serve for the Huskers. Kubik had 10 kills on Wednesday night against Iowa, hit .365. Rosario doesn't get on top of that one. That's well long. And Courtney Rosario with a couple of swings here early without a kill. She's one of the top dual players in the conference. She's running that 6-2 for Iowa, setting when she's in the back row and attacking from the right side and the front.
And she does such a great job. She's also a big block up there. But again, 6'5" setter, moves well, great hands. Really does so many great things for this Iowa team.
Yeah, she really forced into more of a setting role this year when Bree Orr decided not to come back. Bree Orr, one of 3 players for Iowa who opted out when the season moved to the spring. It was Greer Hughes, Hallie Johnston also opting out with Bree Orr. So Iowa came into this 2020 campaign pre-COVID with really high hopes. You know, some returning experience. Many people expected they might be one of the more improved teams in the conference this year, and you lose those 3, and that, you know.
I mean, it's senior leadership and a lot of strong players. I mean, Bree Orr was an incredible setter for this program. We know that Orr name, Kennedy Orr, is going to be, well, is here currently, but will be a player that we'll have the opportunity to watch next year for Nebraska. So just some really good players. And it's just the dynamics and the emotional and those kind of things that has changed.
Off of the block, Amaya Jones with the kill.
Jones does a nice job getting right back after that block and being ready. You always want to be set and balanced to be able to take advantage of those balls.
And the ace by Bizzario. That's her 16th ace of the season. That leads the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And if you'll notice, Iowa is really targeting Akana, going right in the seams and making her take balls or make decisions with her teammates.
Knuckles steps in, pass well off. Nebraska out of system again. It leads to a opportunity here for the Hawkeyes. Rosario pushes to the pin. Swing is long, and Adina Schmidt had a good look at it, but the hitting error on Iowa.
Great opportunity for Iowa there. Just shot got a little long and didn't get on top of it. But again, Nebraska's struggling with their serve receive, out assist in.
And speaking of serving, this is something we saw on Wednesday night. We're seeing Lauren Stivrins get a few more opportunities from the service line for Nebraska.
She is a tough server. She's stepping back there. And again, she's a team leader, a captain, the energy, the great things. Look at that effort right there. You want her on the court as much as you can.
So is that more of is it more, Kathy, a move to get more offense? Because clearly you're losing a little bit with her in the back row defensively without Dinsberger. Dinsberger out tonight due to, there you see there, due to COVID contact tracing. Dinsberger and Gable out tonight. But even before Dinsberger was out, we saw Stivrins on the Wednesday night match serving for the Huskers.
Well, and again, just keeping her on the court, and again, she's a good server also, and so I think she brings to the table maybe where one of those defensive specialists has maybe a little higher skill or consistency there, but there's so many intangibles and the effort. You got a player like Lauren Stivrins, one of the top players in the country. If you can keep her on the court, continue to lead from that back row, I think you definitely have some advantages.
In the first 13 rallies, as that serve is long by Stivrins. First 13 rallies, we've only had 3 kills. Both of these teams right now hitting negative. Iowa hitting negative 375, Nebraska negative 143.
not very clean right now. Not a good clean start. You know, that was one thing that I kind of that Coach Cook was talking about in this past week. It's just so much different. You know, when this arena is filled with 8,000 people, just that energy when you step on the court is already, it's like electricity. With not very many people here other than families, you've got to create that on your own. And again, the players are working hard to try and find ways to start off a little bit quicker with the limited energy provided.
Nicklin Hames now will serve for Nebraska. Bump set outside to Schmidt. Knuckles is there to handle. Left for Jazz Sweet. And Jazz Sweet from the right side gets her first kill. Jazz now with back-to-back starts. Now on Wednesday night, Jazz got the start because she had earned it in a very intense battle that Coach Cook created. She's getting the start tonight, likely because of that as well, but also, breaking news here, Riley Zune is out for the year. She broke her foot earlier this week. She's actually in a boot on the sideline for Nebraska. And Riley Zune out for the, there you see Riley with the scooter there, and out for the remainder of the year with that broken foot.
And that's, you know, we've talked about that right side position where both players have been battling, and Nebraska's, it's an area where they need to improve. If we want to win national championships, Coach Cook said we've got to have more production on that right side. And so really pushing to find somebody to step up and take over. Now, again, another, I guess, challenge for that right side.
4-0 run here for Nebraska. There is Schwarzenbach closing the gap, getting the block along with Lexi Sun.
Lexi Sun on that one does just a tremendous job pushing that outer hand and pushing to the middle of the court. Wow, what a great shot there by Jones. Reads the block, takes that sharp angle, and really nice shot. Finds the floor.
Another look at Amaya Jones. Now to serve for Iowa is Jones. Sun rolls it into the middle.
You know, one of the things too, we've talked at the Open on Sun, she's playing really well right now. She's just doing a better job when she's in system and out of system. You know, in system, Hames is really pushing her fast tempo. That's where she really excels, a fast tempo, beating blocks with her quickness. But she's also making great shots in those out of system balls.
Tight to the net, that's pulled back over. Up to Jazz, who splits the block, and Jazz Sweet with another kill.
Great job there by Sweet. Got off the net. It was, again, out of system ball from Knuckles, but she really keeps that ball in front of her and drives. Great swing there.
2 for 2 on that right side for Jazz Sweet, and boy, the right side has been the topic of much conversation around Nebraska. John Cook opened with that question in his press conference last week. What are you going to do about the right side? How are you going to solve? And of course, Zune had been struggling mightily over the last 5 games. Her hitting average, which started off at 290, was all the way down to 123, and Jazz Sweet now has it, has all of that responsibility on her shoulders now. Well, since the Hawkeyes opened up and took a 4-0 lead, Nebraska has gone on a 14-4 run. Jazz Sweet 2 for 2.
She's really coming out and played strong. And again, we've talked about that's a position that needs to have some elevation in the level of play there. She's come out playing strong. We actually earlier in warm-ups also saw Caitlin Myers taking some swings on that right side as kind of a potential, because if something isn't working, she's been training at the middle. But again, great athlete. Move her over there as a potential and at least an opportunity to make some changes or see some production.
Of course, Caitlin Meyer, one of the top 20 in the nation last year. Number 4 ranked middle blocker according to PrepVolleyball.com, so more naturally a middle, but Nebraska pretty solid there. With Schwarzenbach obviously getting the start tonight, and you have Stivrins as well as Caffey there, so roll her to provide some sort of depth at the pins, because that's something Nebraska's really struggling with right now, especially with the injury to Zune.
And that's what great teams do, coaches do. They kind of start taking players, and we've got athletes to work with, and they make those adjustments and adaptations. And I'm sure she'll get some training this week in practice now that the news has come out in the evaluation of Zune's foot.
On the slide.
Oh, great up by Son.
I thought she had one down there. Bizarro with one-hander by Son to keep it alive. Roll over. Maddie Kubik finds that line for the kill.
You know, I mean, we're seeing great defensive play. Nebraska's really been focusing on getting balls up and keeping them alive. And you got to talk about Maddie Kubik. She's really starting to pick up her play here in the last couple weeks with greater production. That ball's inside. She knows where she's at, where the court is. Just a great shot.
Nebraska's block is there. There's a big swing by Audrey Black on the left pin, the freshman out of Colorado.
Excuse me, and Sweet did a great job on that setup, got out there. Stivern's right there with her. Look at the synchronized work by those two blockers.
Nebraska's hitting percentage now up to .333. Iowa hitting negative .222 here midway through this first set.
And that's been kind of a combination of both errors, but also Nebraska's block has really got some challenges. So a nice kill there. Bizarro coming in that middle. She's one of those players, I mean, you just got to keep track of her. She's going to be swing on the outside in certain rotations. They'll bring her in the middle. She hits from the right side. She will hit from anywhere along that net, and she's very successful, able to terminate. Great job hanging in the air there by Lauren Stivrins.
Another example of Nicklin Hames this year, pushing the middle even when she's maybe not as comfortable doing it as she has been in the past. Finding ways to get it to her top hitter, Lauren Stivrins.
Well, Nebraska evaluates each of their rotations, and they have found that when Nicklin Hames and Stivrins are in the front row, they are scoring the most points. And so those two, that combination, getting that opportunity to get her the ball, even out of system, has been really a major priority for Nebraska this year.
Largest lead of the match here for Nebraska, up by 9 at 19-10 here in set one. Hitting percentage now up to .385 for the Huskers. Tough serve there by Kayla. And just a pace ball there by Schmidt, fooled Son in the back row.
Nice adjustment there by Schmidt just to try to get some offensive production, just changing things up. As we talked, some errors on the swings, just making an adjustment and a tempo ball and controlling it. Hames, great job there. She loves to be an offensive threat up at the net. Throws that right in the center of the court. Takes charge. You can see a lot of open area. She recognizes that, catches the defense off balance.
Over the last two matches, Hames' offensive numbers have improved. She was hitting 105 2 matches ago, up to 141 on the season. Now Nebraska up by 9 here in set number 1 in Lincoln. Well, it's been a more than lopsided series. Nebraska has never lost to the Iowa Hawkeyes. They are 32-0 all time. In fact, if you look at the records of John Cook since coming on campus at Nebraska back in 2000, he has 599 wins at Nebraska. 10 Iowa head coaches over that the history are at 583. That's the history of the Iowa program. So John in his 21 seasons and Iowa in 44. John Cook with more wins than the Hawkeyes.
And I think, it just says a lot about, again, John Cook and what he's doing here at Nebraska. I think first 5-set game with Nebraska was last year. Well, other than that, they haven't even ever got to that benchmark in this matchup.
Maya Jones on the slide with the kill. That's a nice set by Bailey Ortega. Should mention those career wins at Iowa in the history of the program. Some of those were lost because of the sanctions that were imposed by the NCAA and when Bon Szymanski was the head coach. And Vicki Brown was on the bench as an associate head coach under Bon Szymanski. He was let go by Iowa, as everyone knows. He illegally helped pay rent for one of his players. Violation was reported by Iowa when found, and Vicki Brown has done a terrific job in the 2 years that she's been on the bench with the Hawkeyes. 3-12 this year, but you see the improvement in the recruiting. And the question is, can you continue to recruit at the level you have to in this conference to be able to compete?
Well, and as you mentioned too earlier, that some of those seniors, so this year has been a challenge, some of those seniors chose not to participate. So just all of those different things. But Vicki Brown is going to do some really nice things and is just, again, early in her career in this position. And Iowa's looking forward to seeing what she can do to continue to move this program up and improve.
Tough serve there by Nicklin Hames, and the ace for Hames. Nebraska 2 away from taking set number 1. That is the 10th ace on the year for Nicklin Hames.
And really, that ball is a great ball going off the court to the edge of the court, really pushing and challenging the serve receive.
It was your former coach, Terry Pettit, who always said the toughest serve to handle is that's on your left hip, between your left hip and the boundary, right?
Yep. Work the angles and work the edges there. Yep. Here's a nice swing on the right side again, killing. I think just trying to find ways and places to get around the block of Nebraska has been the challenge, and that's a nice swing.
Tipped by Schwarzenbach. Good recovered there by Reitz, who kept it alive. Rolled over, but knocked down by Black. Right down the line. And Jazz Sweet off to a great start. She's 3 kills in 4 swings.
She has really stepped out and embraced this opportunity and the responsibility of working hard on that right side. This is the production that Nebraska is looking for, and you can see Hames is confident in her, giving her the ball. She's 3 for 4, hitting .750.
Set point here for Nebraska, and the Huskers close it out of the block. Jazz Sweet was there.
That outside hand, solid and strong. Great first set for Jazz Sweet.
So Nebraska takes the first over the Hawkeyes, 25-14. They hit .444 in the first while holding Iowa to -77. A good start for Nebraska, a good start for Jazz Sweet. Let's take a look at Jazz's 3 kills.
She's definitely come out strong and playing confident, making good shots. She's really put herself in a position to really drive at balls, and that's when she's the most successful. You can see the block in front of her. So she's really embraced her opportunity today, playing strong. She's had 3 kills, hitting .750 and 2 blocks, which has also been a key part of her front row play.
So Jazz off to a good start, as is Nebraska. The Huskers again hitting .444, and it's the second time in a row against Iowa. Nebraska has held them to negative in a set. Here's a look at the leading teams in the Big Ten Conference in terms of hitting percentage. You see Wisconsin just way out in front of everybody. .351. Nebraska, Penn State, Ohio State, all right there. But look at the Badgers at .351, and they've lost some matches due to COVID protocol, and have just 10 on the year.
But those 10, they have been dominant. They have played so well. And you said that number is just an incredible number.
Well, it's a team in Wisconsin that has nearly everyone back from last year and that run to the finals when they eventually lost to Stanford in the finals. But there's Sweet again with another kill, 4 for 5 now for Jazz Sweet. Rosario just got that left hand to send it over. Opportunity here for, that was well wide in the swing. Maddie Kubik. We talked earlier about Nebraska's unbeaten streak against Iowa. Nebraska 32-0. But there was another long streak that came to an end. You and I were on the call back in 2009 at the Coliseum. Iowa State was 0 for 74 against Nebraska and lost that night to the Cyclones. And I remember the night of the shock of the crowd walking out from the Coliseum, and that, this is a team Nebraska had not lost to ever. And that almost came true last year. Here, Iowa had Nebraska down 2-1. The Hawkeyes had an opportunity.
Right.
Rosario was playing terrific. Nebraska came back and won it in 5, 3-2.
And so it is, the streak at some point.
Any given night, right?
Yep, that's right. And talk about an incredible night right there. An incredible block by Lexi Sun. One-on-one matchup. She steps inside of Jones and sends it back. Look at that smile. Feels good.
That's 4 blocks now for Nebraska. And just long on the serve from Kubik.
That's Nebraska's 4th service error. Just misses that corner. Nebraska really working hard. That's been one of their focuses, to drive that serve and really challenge the opponent. We talked about earlier, too, how Nebraska's really tracking what they're doing in each of these rotations. And so they're making measures and trying to make decisions on data and put themselves in positions to be the most successful in every rotation and evaluate why or why not. That's just a great shot there by Sun. Look at that hand control, put that spin on the ball, drops it right in front of the defense. Bizarro, it looks like.
So Stivrins now to serve again. Jones with the swing, but Nebraska's block was there again. And then from the left side, Schmidt puts it away. The sophomore out of Berlin, Germany, Adina Schmidt.
She has had a great sophomore season here. She's averaging 2.5 kills per set. And just, again, getting confidence and getting better all the time as the season has progressed.
It's the 4th service error on Iowa's. Also 4 against Nebraska. On Wednesday night, Nebraska hit a season-high 365 against the Hawkeyes, and 2 aces for Nicklin Hames. That's 11 on the season. In addition to Nebraska hitting a season-high 365, they also held Iowa to just 119 on Wednesday, so that opponent hitting percentage continues to drop. It's interesting, despite the sweep and despite those numbers, it was a fairly competitive match through Game 1 and Game 2. Iowa late in both of those had opportunities to make it, either send it to extra points or possibly win in the first and second sets. That first game was 25-19, but there were 7 lead changes and 7 ties and 5 lead changes in that battle. Sweep with another kill.
She's really just, again, getting herself in a great position, and as a lefty on that right side, that ball's in front of her, gets to her a little bit quicker than a right-handed hitter, and she can see the court.
Schwarzenbach. Yeah, Schwarzenbach maybe got just a little bit late, but had those hands up, had him turned in time to get the block.
And that's the thing, too. Your outsides do set up. And so they create the area that you're trying to close to. Kubik did a great job there, again, getting set early, and then Schwarzenbach still sticking with it, just keeping pushing. Another great hands on the block there by Sweet and Schwarzenbach.
So another block. That's 6 now for Nebraska here at 9-4 in set number 2, and that's going to hurt the Iowa hitting percentage, which continues to drop. Iowa hit -32 in the 3rd set against Nebraska on Wednesday, and the first set -77, and right now they're at -200.
Just, Nebraska's block has just been challenging them, and they're trying to find ways, and they've also created errors that they're trying to work around it to, work off the edges. They're just missing their mark, and it gets in the head of a hitter after a while, too.
6 kills for Sweet on 7 swings, hitting .857. No errors for Jazz here early. And there's an aggressive kill by Hannah Clayton in the middle. She leads Iowa, hitting .367 on the year.
Clayton does a great job here. That Nebraska block has been a challenge, and she does a nice job seeing where it is and then turning it, working off the edge.
And Schwarzenbach, good angle right on the line.
Great job getting on top of that ball. That hand up there. Hames pushing her, and look at Kelly had a really great approach there. Got to that ball hard and aggressive and was able to get on top of it, keep it in bounds.
Good dig by Knuckles. Free ball sit over here by Sun. No touch, and the swing is long by Audrey Black. So Nebraska's Kinsey Knuckles will continue her serve. Happy birthday, by the way, to Kinsey Knuckles, who turned 20 yesterday.
Yep, was her birthday. Again, just a 20-year-old.
First freshman starting setter for Nebraska since Justine Wong-Arantes. And Justine was a good one.
Yeah, Nebraska has seen several outstanding liberos, and Caleb Anworth, Wong-Arantes, and here he said coming in as freshmen, being able to contribute and take on that role.
Huskers leading by 8 here in set number 2. Nebraska's Nicklin Hames tops in the league in assists per set, averaging 11.2. Gabby Blossom, Sydney Hilly, Mac Pedraza, who we saw a few weeks ago here in Lincoln. Top setters in the conference, and here are the numbers for Jazz Sweet.
She has come out and had a sweet start to this match. 6 kills on 7 swings, hitting an incredible .857. She's also getting it done up there with that block, causing a lot of problems and keeping Iowa at a .273 negative hitting percentage.
There is Courtney Bizzario from the left pin this time with the kill. 6'5" junior out of Chino Hills, California.
And she's just such a great teammate, too. Just love watching her play. And we talked, she's doing a dual role. She's setting 3 rotations when she's in the back row, front row, she's hitting. But if you just watch her interact with her teammates and just her demeanor out on the court, very impressive young lady.
4th kill for Stivrins. Here's a look at Courtney Bizzario.
Her numbers are just incredible as you look up and down. And she does so many things for this team. We talked about she had her first triple-double, but she's had several opportunities, 1 or 2 away from that all year. But again, just consistently played and been a standout for this Iowa team.
Only Iowa Hawkeye volleyball player, as she gets the block there, to ever have multiple triple-doubles. Of course, she stepped in last year when Bree Orr was injured. Set for a large part of the season and now running the 6-2 for the Hawks. As an overpass, and Amaya Jones gets the kill right off the hands of Nicklin Hames.
Jones did a great job. Those are fun balls to get fed right up to you. She does a nice job being aggressive and swinging hard. She really does a good job getting in her base, and even when she transitions off, she gets back there very quickly, so she's ready.
Kubik off the top of the block, back to Bizzario. A great up by Kayla in the back row. And then tried line, but just wide with a swing by Adina Schmidt. And they're going to say Nebraska in the net, so point for the Hawkeyes.
Here we get a chance to take a peek at that. And yep, you can see again, just not balanced, and pushing hard. Hames all on her own there. And she absolutely loves that. Watch this again. Free ball over. And she's hustling back in there, but look, it's me. It's all me. She says, I gotcha.
Jones again.
Great.
Another kill. Boy, good hustle by Akana. Going into the bench, but the kill by Amaya Jones.
You know, Kayla Akana has really come in and been a spark also in that back row for Nebraska. Great defensive player and really been doing a great job with her service back there too. So really getting a lot of positives, having her out there and adding to this performance.
Like Schmidt and Jones both in there on that block. Let's see whose hands got it. And it was Jones.
I think it is Jones.
Maya Jones hit negative against Nebraska on Wednesday, which is 2 kills already. Much bigger role here tonight for the Hawkeyes.
And as you mentioned at the top, their middles had to get involved, you know, which meant, again, being in system and creating some opportunities to keep the block off balance.
Into the antenna with the serve there. Makes it 16-12 Huskers on top. So Stivrins now back at the service line. Leads the Big Ten in hitting percentage. 478 on the year for Stivrins, and that serve just misses the back line. She had 8 kills on Wednesday at 6:15. And now Adina Schmidt, who also had 8 kills against Nebraska on Wednesday, back to serve. Lexi with the tip, good up. Wurzelbach sent it back over after Jones with a nice tip, and that swing is long by Audrey Black, the freshman out of Eagle Crest High School in Aurora, Colorado. She's a first-year starter for the Hawkeyes, obviously, hit negative 111 against Nebraska on Wednesday night, but getting playing time early in her career for Iowa.
And she's had some good success out there. She's had 2.0 kills per set, and so just learning, developing, growing.
Yep. Wide, and Nebraska with the point.
Jones is really working hard out there on the court. That she just missed the mark there, but again, her production tonight has been much better than it was in the match Wednesday night. Coach Brown giving her some insight, also as they come off that, but again, just doing some really nice things.
That goes off the hand of Jazz Sweet, and a kill for Iowa. Back to serve now is Jones. And just long on the serve by Amaya Jones. Lexi Sun, Big Ten Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. She had a nice week, 5 kills per set, hit 315 against the Fighting Illini, and there is her 23rd service error of the year. She leads Nebraska in aces as well.
You got to make sure you keep a good balance there with that.
What is the balance? Is it even?
You'd like to be at least 1-to-1. Yeah. Obviously less than that, but you know that you're going to get some errors with some of those aggressive.
Out of the back row, the swing by Schmidt.
And again, a real positive on the Iowa Hawkeye side. Just nice swing, trying to find ways to work around that block. It's just been such a challenge for them in this match.
And the ace for the Hawkeyes, and they're now back in this 2 away, 19-17.
The net sometimes is in your favor and sometimes not. Those are really just tough balls as a serve receive person. You just got to react and try and get there. Sometimes that middle blocker can help you out as it catches the tape, but just the luck of the draw.
Jazz continues the hot hand. She has 7 kills, 8 swings, 875 now with no hitting errors for Jazz Sweet.
And obviously leading Nebraska and all players with number of kills.
And the ace for Kinsey Knuckles. We talked about how that first set against Iowa on Wednesday night was a tight one. It was 23-21, and it was Iowa on a run to get back into it. In fact, I think a 4-0 run when Jazz Sweet stepped up and delivered that kill from the right pin to put Nebraska on top, and the Huskers were going to win that first one 25-21. There's Cubic long, no touch. Back in now for Iowa to serve is Maddie Slagle. Slagle out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Cedar Rapids Jefferson High School. Rolled over. Ortega was there. Tip try, good cover. Nicklin Hayes. And no touch that time. That was long from Sweet, so her first hitting error on the night. And Nebraska will take a timeout as Iowa back to within 1 here at 21-20. We'll come back here in Lincoln. Huskers up by 1. Well, 3 of the Nebraska athletes, former Nebraska volleyball players playing in the Athletes Unlimited Volleyball League, competed against each other today. It was Kelly Hunter who drafted on her team. Brianna Holman, Hunter was a captain, Larson was a captain. They played tonight, and Team Larson, the Olympian, over Team Hunter, 3-0. Jordan Larson, the leading scorer in that league.
And Hunter, just a great opportunity because the top 4 point getters get to be a captain. Yeah. And so, getting her first opportunity to be a captain, and she stepped into that role. As you know, she was here working with the program at Nebraska, and kind of at that last minute, they needed a setter, and she said, I'll go for it. And I think Coach Cook really encouraged her to take the opportunity to do that.
Jazz Sweet back on it now, 22-19 Nebraska.
Sweet doing a great job here, keeping that ball in front of her, and she stays inside that block.
Kaylee Akana now back to serve for Nebraska, the freshman out of Hauula, Hawaii. Good quick transition, nice tempo there for Iowa on the kill by Hannah Clayton.
Just that pace and as you mentioned, the connection. Ortega and Clayton. Great passing system.
Stivrins tried the line and got the kill.
She's so good on that slide, and she hangs well, and she sees the blockers in her court well. She's just lethal on that.
She's trying to close out her career, as maybe the best middle blocker Nebraska's ever had. And there's certainly several in the conversation. You think of Corver and Stalls, yeah. But if you look at what she's done in terms of hitting percentage, 478, that would be a new Nebraska record if she could, continue that through the rest of the season. Devin Robinson, the right side for Wisconsin. In fact, Wisconsin goes 2-3, and Wisconsin has 3 in the top 10 in terms of hitting percentage, but just an impressive year for Nebraska's senior middle. And then the question is she a senior middle next year as well?
And those are the interesting things that, this year brings with the COVID and the additional eligibility. Who are we going to see on these various programs? You seniors are going to be making some of those decisions here. I'm waiting till the end of the season. I know those questions have come up, and right now it's about the season. And then when it's done, then those decisions will be made.
I think it goes team by team, too, in terms of the coach's perspective on whether or not they're talking to the players and finding out what the players are thinking. Because we talked to a couple coaches around the Big Ten who already know, 75 or 80 or 50% of their team is coming back next year despite, being a senior. They're having that number back. I think Nebraska truly is taking kind of a wait-and-see approach. John hasn't pushed the issue with his players.
Well, and I think, again, his philosophy even in every point, every match or whatever. And so right now, we're going to take care of right now. And that's our focus. And then we can talk and figure it out from there.
On the back row, Kubik with the kill.
Nebraska's really been running that pipe very low and fast in that middle. They run that when they bring that slide around and bring the left side to come driving through that middle.
So Nebraska looking to go up 2-0 here at home. Kubik will serve for the set. And Lexi Sun closes it out for Nebraska. That is the 5th kill of the match for Lexi Sun. Nebraska hit 200 in that set, hitting 300 for the match, and they lead the Iowa Hawkeyes 2-0. Intermission at the Devaney Center. Nebraska leading the Iowa Hawkeyes 2-0. John Cook calls Kaylin Meyer arguably the best female athlete to ever come out of the Cornhusker State. The Superior native set the state record in discus as a freshman and won state championships in track and field, volleyball, and basketball during her career. And over the last year, she has transitioned her focus to college volleyball, elevating her potential to new heights.
Kaylin is just very mature. She has a great work ethic. And probably the thing that caught my attention the most was, I'd call her and she'd be out working on the farm, laying pipe, working on a tractor, driving a tractor. So I know there's just a great work ethic in that family.
Looking up to my older sisters, and what they accomplished in high school and what they accomplished in college, that has really inspired me. My 2 older sisters going to UNL, and I knew that I wanted to go there too.
Never been in a state championship match. That is drilled down the line. Drive to the basket. Blocked. Big block by Kaylin Meyer. Meyer out of the back row with the kill. Right in the middle. Block. Meyer there on the block. Congratulations, Superior High School.
She has to go down as one of the greatest high school athletes, female, in the state of Nebraska. As she kept coming to camp, I just saw the potential in her and excited about her, developing her, into a great middle blocker at Nebraska.
I had to split up my time and efforts into 3 different sports. So yeah, I knew that coming in, I wouldn't probably be the best at first, but I would probably be the player that makes the most improvement over time. So that just really was another thing that drove me to be more hardworking and put more effort into everything, just knowing that I can make the biggest strides on the team.
She has a very high volleyball IQ. You go into red white, you get 6 kills, no errors. She's smart, she moves it around. The speed of the game and things happening, and it's kind of the random plays that she's going to have to get used to that she hasn't seen at Superior High School. She loves to win, wants to be great. That's a great place to start.
I want to make it a goal to be one of the starting 7, technically, on the court. And I knew it would be really tough doing that, but I think I've really made big strides in my improvement in my volleyball skills. So I think I'm on the right track to achieve that.
Such a high ceiling for this young lady, Kaylin Meyer, who's in her freshman year at Nebraska. Look at the tradition within her family, Kathy. Mom played for Terry Pettit at Nebraska. Dad, track and field here. Sister, track and field at Nebraska. Leah, her sister, track and field currently. And, of course, she has a younger sister who's going to play for Caleb Banworth at Ole Miss.
Yeah, just an incredible, I guess, genetics.
Yeah, right.
But just outstanding. And I think also talk about the hard work. you know, that this young lady has put in, and the family, that's the mentality.
Let's take a look then at Lexi Sun and her performance here tonight. 5 kills, 9 swings, hitting .444.
Sun has been one of those players that we've talked about is just really playing strong and consistent right now. She's come out, she's doing her job, she's mixing things up, she's making good decisions. Here you see a tempo shot, and when she gets that ball in a good position and she puts everything behind it, she is really firing away and tough to stop.
And Jazz Sweet has been impressive here getting the start tonight.
You know, she has stepped in and done a tremendous job. She's been asked to take the load over on that right side to make a difference over there. Her numbers tonight are 8 kills, hitting .700. She's got 3 blocks. She is doing exactly what Coach Cook is asking for from the right side player. 15
kills in her last 2 matches. She had 13 in her first 10 this season. So already in her last 2, in 2 starts, exceeded her output.
Well, and again, that I believe that ties her season high, but she's coming out and she's being confident. You know, as we've watched her this season long, there's times that you watch her out there and you haven't seen that. She has come out and felt confident. We've seen a smile on her face out there. She's engaged with her teammates, and I think those are all things that make a difference.
So Nicklin Hames will open up the 3rd here for Nebraska. Earlier this year, she became the 10th Husker to reach 3,000 assists in a career. And Hames trying to get another one here to Jazz Sweet, and she does. Another assist, and that's a season high 9 kills for Jazz Sweet. Here are the numbers through 2.
I mean, the hitting percentage of Iowa, I mean, Nebraska is really challenged with that block. They've made some hitting errors on their own as well, but that's what really stands out. I also think you got to talk about the blocks. Nebraska's blocks has really challenged it. Jazz Sweet has had 3 of those.
Yeah.
Got her another kill here, her season high, and with 9 kills so far in this match, and we've still got a lot of game to play.
Another kill by Sun, that is 6 for her. 6 kills on 10 swings, 1 error. She's hitting .500. Nicklin just the 4th in the rally scoring era for Nebraska to have 3,000 plus kills. Kelly Hunter, Sydney Anderson, Lauren Cook were the other 3 in the rally scoring era to have more than 3,000.
Here, a great job by Jazz Sweet to, again, hang in there, push hard, be confident, and find a way to take a ball that wasn't great and do something very positive.
So a 3-0 service run for Nicklin Hames. Back to service Jocelyn Boyer for Iowa. Third, check that 7th service error for Iowa. Free ball here for Nebraska. Leaves it for Schwarzenbach. And Callie Schwarzenbach having a nice night. That's her 3rd kill. She has 4 blocks, and Callie Schwarzenbach is hitting over .700 tonight.
And just a great connection between her and Hames. Schwarzenbach after that points right to her, and again acknowledges that's where I need it, that's where I like it.
Schwarzenbach and Sweet both hitting .750 tonight.
Schwarzenbach has been known for her blocking, and that's been her strength as she's been a player here at Nebraska. And the offense, the part of it is a part of the game. They've really been working with her to try and improve, make those connections, and be able to create some more production. And that's just been the piece that they want to elevate. We've seen her and Kathy both, again, kind of bringing some differences to that position. But here, another great swing. Hames speeding her up, building that confidence too.
So Schwarzenbach with 4 kills on 5 swings, hitting 800, and that ties her season high. She's had 4 2 other times this year. Schmidt's swing, no touch, is long, point for Nebraska.
Schmidt's struggling a little. She's hitting negative 71, but the block of Nebraska has really caused that for her. She's just trying to catch the edges, high hands, fingers, anything, and just really struggling.
And there is Schmidt with the kill.
As she's very capable of doing, and found the opportunity and found the right place on that swing. You see the block was pinched inside, and blockers were not set.
Jazz sweep between the block and Nebraska here in set number 3. 6 swings, 6 kills. They're hitting 1,000.
You know, Hames is also doing a tremendous job getting hitters the ball in positions where they can be successful. She's reading the block. You can see the block wasn't able to get closed there, and really orchestrating this offense. And what a nice opportunity to add that extra dimension on. You know, when you have all 3 hitters being a viable terminator, it increases all of their performance and production.
High hands goes Aubrey Black, and she gets the kill. Good decision there by the freshman.
She's one of those players that's just starting to learn and develop and find her way, and getting some great court time this year.
That's blistered by Kubik from the left pin.
And if you're noticing too, because of the all hitters being viable and terminating here, we're getting holes in the block. The blockers have to stay just that little split second of they have to hold and wait and see, is giving really Nebraska's attackers the edge.
And a tandem there goes off the block, and the kill by Aubrey Black. It almost got tangled up in the tandem there, but got the swing of the kill.
You get a chance to kind of see again, you know, it's trying to catch those blockers and freeze them and hold them. Black doing a great job here using that block for Nebraska.
On the slide, Stivrins went line. Good dig by Boyer. Back row, Kubik. Boyer with the great hustle to keep it alive. And then Sun, third time for Nebraska, they put it away.
And in that situation, they keep Sun inside and let her swing to the outer edges of the court. You know, Stivrins on this ball just puts the heat on that ball, but you got to give a lot of credit to Boyer there. She steps in there and takes it and doing some really great things. She averages 3.5 digs per game, per set, excuse me.
How about Lauren Stivrins?
You know, this has been we've seen some really positive things by Coach Cook, saying, you know what, let's keep you in there for that service and see what we can get. And that's the evaluation process, trying to find ways to pick up a point or two here or there. A little extra edge. Nice job there by Lexi Sun, working off the edge of the block, just finding the hands with that ball. And she's making such great decisions and controlling the ball, you know, and seeing what she has in front of her a little bit. This season has been, I would say, more than she has in the past.
Served by Stivrins again. Ooh, there's another driving serve that isn't handled well and leads to an opportunity here for Nebraska. On the center dump, 4-0 Nebraska run. Nicklin Hames, that's a 4-0 run on the serve of Lauren Stivrins.
And is she on top of that ball or what? I mean, as she gets on top of that ball, she is sending that down. Difficult for anybody to stop and have any chance at getting that ball up.
Stivrins started the season against Indiana in the serve rotation. She had 6 serves and 4 serves in that opening weekend against the Hoosiers. has not served since then until the last time out against Iowa. And we're seeing tonight here on a 5-0 run, Lauren Stivrins in Nebraska with a 14. Well, tonight, Stivrins continues to Stivrins. She has 5 kills, hitting 300, and really doing it all.
She's just doing a tremendous job. She's been really unstoppable this season, and utilizing her also now, we've seen here as of late in that service rotation. She's just an all-around player, and this has added another dimension to the Nebraska team with her back at the service. She's coming off of a 5-0 run.
Another tough serve there, just clearing the tape. And then that splits the block and the kill by Aubrey Black. Check that.
Nope.
It fell.
Yeah.
Right, fell on it.
Actually, Sun, I think, had that hand on it. Just came down so quick.
So a 6-0 Nebraska run, and the block by Lexi Sun. From our angle, it looked like it fell on Nebraska's side. But a good run for Nebraska, 15-6 lead.
And again, Coach Cook has to definitely feel like, you know what, this is a good thing. This is a positive thing. It'll be interesting to see if that continues on. She provides that tough serve. The defensive side is the other element that has to have production and positive impact.
That was a floating serve that Schwarzenbach did not handle well. Serve receive probably not her forte.
Well, and as she's coming off there in this rotation, that's just a great serve that caught her in a bad spot in that. And the players are talking about how they can avoid that.
Tried to target her again and goes wide.
You can do a couple things. You can push her up, but then she isn't off the net to be able to get in there quite as quick. And so, but it was good to see the players immediately talking about that and communicating how they were going to adjust.
The top with the block, but an aggressive swing by Schmidt. That was a high roll again from Lexi. It's just goes cross there and finds deep corner for the kill.
Just great job keeping that high hand and that wrist snap. I mean, she gets on top of that ball and gets it to drop and fall in that back court. She's just going over them. And look at that great top spin.
Lead is 10 for Nebraska, 17-7. Huskers in this set hitting 786. And there was an aggressive swing from Hannah Clayton, who leads the Hawkeyes in hitting percentage.
Clayton's 4th kill tonight.
Hames comes running in to get the set and then just pushed right into the donut.
And just a tough ball there for Sun. As you said, Hames running past her. And so that ball's coming from behind Sun. She's got to find the ball, see where she is in relationship to the net, and then try and know or see where the defense is. And that's the thing I think that she's doing so much better is she wasn't in a position to swing at that aggressively, but she knew where she needed to take it to have a positive.
Sun steps in and sets Sweet, not down. Good dig there by Boyer. Rolled over. Back to Sun again. And a little pace there. Check that. That's just Sweet. A little pace from Sweet with the kill.
And that ball was inside, so again, feeds into Sweet tends to do a much better job if she's got a ball that she can really work hard to go after. But that left hand coming off just puts her in a good position.
It's a 10th service error on Nebraska here in the third. Huskers still hitting at a good clip, 443. Iowa's hitting 14%. And back to serve now is Bizzario.
Great up by Sweet.
Sweet again, good reaction.
Nice.
Tooled
nice
right off the
shot.
hands by Maddie Kubik. Smart shot.
That's all she could do, but she did a tremendous job keeping that ball in front of her and then finding the blocker's hands. You just push into them, and actually you just really swipe it off of their hands. You know they're there. You're using them for your advantage.
And here it is. Just missed time there by Iowa. And Hawkeyes right now are their own worst enemy in terms of hitting percentages, communication, and a quick timeout taken here by Vicki Brown. Well, John Cook tonight trying to join the 600 club at Nebraska. Only 3 other coaches have reached as many wins. Rhonda Revelle, of course, former senior women's administrator at Nebraska and softball head coach, has over 1,000 career wins. John Sanders, his baseball career, 767. And Terry Pettit, the predecessor to John Cook, had 694. It is an impressive feat for John Cook, his 600 here at Nebraska. And maybe more impressive is the Division I coaches that have been developed and been through this program with John Cook. Of course, Craig Skinner, you saw, was part of that 2000 team. Danny Busboom Kelly was part of a national championship team. She's now at Louisville. Chris Thomas was here for a moment. Caleb Banworth, of course, the former walk-on at Nebraska, who became one of the greatest liberos Nebraska's ever had. And then Dan Connors, who's the 7th season at UC Davis.
Well, and that's the thing. Coach Cook is I guess what stands out to me, he's a constant student of the game, but he's also a great mentor and trainer of young coaches and pushing them to grow also and become, again, go out and again continue to grow the sport of volleyball and programming.
There have been other coaches who have left and been head coaches at other places that have come through John Cook's program, maybe not still head coaches. Tyler Hildebrand's a good example, who was a coach of coaches for the national beach volleyball team. He left Nebraska, won a title here in 17, came back in his first year as associate head coach under John Cook. Great tempo. 5-3 with the kill.
Just a nice quick pace, trying to beat that block, and that's what Iowa needs to do. They're just trying to find a different way to be able to find some production, some terminations.
So Nebraska now 3 away from a sweep here in Lincoln, looking for their second sweep in 3 days of the Hawkeyes. Kaylee Akana, originally committed to USC, coaching change at USC, and Akana switches her commitment, comes to Nebraska, and what a great addition she has been to this Husker team. And there's a solo block in the middle by Amaya Jones, and that is Nebraska's first hitting error this set.
Jones has just done a great job up front, and she does here. She stays balanced and really looks at the approach and steps in and takes it.
Stiver and slide connects again.
She's so good at that slide. Her body control, her balance. She never loses that ball. And she just knows where the court is. I mean, you can see the pinches inside from the left side. She knows then what gap that creates.
Another opportunity for Black, not down. On the slide, Stiverins into the antenna. And wants that one back.
She had a lot of court to swing at there. It was just feeling too good. I mean, that antenna felt that. There's no doubt.
Rolls it. Get up by Black. Pizzario not down. And a touch on Iowa and Nebraska here at match point in set number 3. And into the game for Nebraska comes Schwarzenbach, and we're going to get our first look at Kaylin Meyer, who we featured at the intermission, talked about earlier. She was working some right side for Nebraska. Ani Evans in to serve, and Meyer will play right side here. Schwarzenbach got a hand on that one. Meyer got the hand on that. Swing is long, no touch. And the Hawkeyes with the point. So in to serve now for Iowa. Second match point for Nebraska. Maddie Slagle is in. And the changes for the Huskers. Hames back in. On the slide, Schwarzenbach rolls it over. Good cover there by Sun, who then regroups, gets the kill, and Nebraska wins the match. And that is 600 wins at Nebraska for head coach John Cook.
What an impressive career here at Nebraska. 600, he joins the club.
It is a season high hitting percentage for Nebraska for the second consecutive match. First time Nebraska has hit 400 since the 2019 NCAA tournament when Nebraska hit 425. They finish hitting 405 in the match.
And an outstanding job also by Nebraska defensive-wise, and they held Iowa to a 13 hitting percentage. So Nebraska's defense block key as well.
Joined now by Nebraska head coach John Cook. John, thanks for spending a couple of minutes. Well, a season high 405. Talk about your performance offensively tonight.
Yeah, I thought Nicklin set really well tonight and got our hitters in some great spots. About the only thing that slowed us down was, we didn't get her the ball somewhere near the net. So I thought she was really, really good tonight. And, that's what we see in practice every day. So it was good to see that.
Jess Sweet also came out tonight and had really her best performance of the season. And talk about her, but also how that opened up and really balanced your offense.
Yeah, we told Jazz we were going to try to get her more balls tonight. And so I think she embraced that. And she looked really comfortable over there. And, it's been a struggle for us. But, she played really free tonight and did a really nice job. I don't know. I haven't seen the stats, but seems like she was killing almost every ball, so that's really good. She blocked really well. She made a great cover right there, so we really need her to be a high-level player.
12 kills on 15 swings, just one error. She hit 733. John, talk about with the injury, how important is it that she step up now on the right side? I know it's opportunity is what you look at it.
Right, and I think maybe that's what it is, and maybe Jazz knows she's we got 4 matches left and then try to get to the tournament, that maybe she wants to, write a great chapter here for her career at Nebraska. And I think, not having Riley there is there's more of a sense of urgency. So it'd be great if she can keep playing like that.
Speaking of career at Nebraska, I know you're not a big numbers guy, but 600 career wins tonight at Nebraska. John, what's that mean to you?
I wish it was 601 because we have the Ohio State match back.
John, thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks.
That is Nebraska head coach John Cook. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Nebraska wins it in a sweep tonight here over Iowa, 25-13 in the third. Nebraska still fourth in the conference, and Penn State upcoming, as well as Michigan for Nebraska before they finish the season. If you're joining us on BTN Plus, thanks so much for joining us. If you're on NET, come on back. We'll close it out from here.